Okay, from the ledge, one protester.
One protest today.
And a supporter, and look who's here, a conservative, my God. And your name?
Jody Carr, MLA Ormocto.
You sure you're not Jack?
I'm sure.
Okay.
I'm sure. Depends on the issue.
That's the issue. I was just talking to your leader about this issue, the anti-bullying bill. Why are you involved in this?
Why am I involved? Because I'm a member of the caucus with David Alward. David Alward sponsored this bill, and I'm involved with it because Rob Frenette and people like Rob, who have asked for the government to take action to put a stop to bullying and harassment in our schools. A few years ago, I had a mother and father come to my office, and they told me the horrific story of bullying and how it impacted their daughter. And it impacted their daughter so much that she took her own life.
Really?
They came to my office and they said that more needs to be done. More needs to be done. That's when I first heard about this issue. And now, with this opportunity before us, a bill that's changing the Education Act, that puts the definition of bullying and harassment in legislation. Number two, it gives the discretion to the principal to have bullying be a cause for suspension. And number three, it mandates the principal to give education awareness to students that are involved with bullying. This is very significant. It's not as drastic as the government says it is, and it's a very good bill. It defines it, it's very clear, and it's something that people want us to support because it's unacceptable that we have students that live in fear in our school system.
You succeeded in one of my best interviews to pass as an opposition bill, pet policy.
Oh yes, animal cruelty.
And animal cruelty. And you succeeded to convince the government to pass this. Now, a bill for animals, and now a bill here for humans, and they won't even look at it.
Well, it's very clearly that under the leadership of David Alward, what I believe in is supporting those that are vulnerable in our society. And if it's vulnerable animals, that's very serious. It impacts our community, but so does vulnerable students in our schools. And again, the government is hiding away from this serious issue, and they want to bulldoze through and force 15 other bills by the end of this week. If there's not one question asked on some of those bills, they'll be deemed as passed. But they want to hide away from a serious issue like bullying, when it's a very simple bill, one that should be something that we all agree to, but the government doesn't want to seem to address a serious issue. And it's very ironic that they're bullying through 15 bills and they won't give due consideration to the Education Act amendments to support Rob Frenette. I've heard from hundreds of parents that are saying that it's time we take this serious. Yes, there's policy in our education department. Policies aren't good enough. We have to put this in law. Send a message that we take it serious, that all students have the right to learn in a safe environment and be respected.
I pray that when the Conservatives are in power, you'll have the same attitude.
Yeah, so when we're elected, Charles, when we're elected, what we say before the election is what we'll do after the election.
Don't worry,
and
I will be here.
Hold me to account.
I will be right here.
Hold me to account on this one.
Exactly. So what do you got to say about all this?
Well, I mean, I'm really upset with the government. I did speak with Minister Hasha yesterday about this, and we did agree on the fact that he will support the bill in principle, but the opposition is definitely putting this to the forefront. I was out here earlier today, you know, and the support is there. Several people are phoning me, several parents, several students. There's actually students who are skipping school on Thursday to be here. So, you know, it's a problem, I think, and as Jody had said, the government rather, is bullying through a bunch of other bills, and you brought up a good point, Charles, of the fact that the Animal Cruelty Act was passed, yet they won't pass a bill on bullying. I really don't understand the reason behind that, and my message behind that, you know, we have to correct what Minister Lamrock in particular is stating in regards to suspensions. Suspensions aren't going to be a guaranteed thing. It's up to the discretion of the principal on that, and I've been trying to make that clear all day long.
What will you say if you're in the opposition? You could promise the world, but the Liberals, something like this, they won't even touch it.
You know,
what do you think the Conservative will do if they're in power?
Well, I'm going to be holding them accountable to it. I have the obligation to do that for the students in the province, and I will ensure to do that. Now, I tried holding the government responsible into this as well. They don't seem to want to go forward with it, and you know, it's really too bad because they just don't seem to have an interest in it.
So you're going to be here for next 3 days?
No, actually I don't. I'm actually here tomorrow, and then I will be here on Thursday as well.
You're not going to pitch a tent?
We can't pitch a tent. I spoke with the Sergeant of Arms yesterday, and he told me not to go forward with it.
Why not?
the chances of that is possibly being arrested and things like that.
Sure, why not?
I did think about it. It kind of, at this point, my focus is not getting arrested. My focus is on getting this bill passed.
Well said. Well said. And you, the first, once you get in power, you will be in power.
Yeah.
This is one of the first duty that you are going to do to pass, right?
It's right, Charles. What we say before the election is what we'll do after the election. David Alward is a man of his word.
Yes, he
David
is.
Alward's name is on this bill, and it puts to the forefront something that he believes strongly in, is giving respect, tolerance, making sure people have a safe environment to learn, and also making sure people are involved and included in the process. And this is something I'm very proud of, and will be very proud if the government doesn't support this. We'll be very proud to support Rob in the passing of this bill when we're in government.
Time will tell.
Time will tell.
It's always a pleasure
And you've got it on
interview.
tape. You've got it on tape.
Keep that tape in.
Oh, I will. Always a pleasure to interview you, Jody.
Glad you're here, Charles.